For those of you who may not know who I am, my name is David Vincent. And first off, I would like to introduce my beautiful mother, who is here. Raise your hand, Mom. Who rarely comes, gets to come to these events with me, and I'm thrilled that you are getting to spend the week up here in Sacramento with me. This means the world to me. So again, my name is David Vincent. I'm a professional voice actor. This is what you don't want to have happen when you're a voice actor. I actually was just emailing a studio telling them that I have to cancel my booking on Monday because I can't go in sounding like this. But I'm a professional voice actor. This is going to be amazing. I've been a voice actor for 20 years, and I'll take your question in just a sec. But I just want to tell you a little bit about, those of you who don't know who I am, some of the stuff that I have done that you may know me from. I've done a lot of anime. I've done a lot of video game work. One of my first leading roles was in a show called Gun Sword, or Gun X Sword, where I played Vaughn. Yes, a couple of you know, including my mom. And let's see, Code Geass. Any Code Geass fans? Awesome. So you heard me as Lee Shinkei in Code Geass. Let's see, Bleach. You heard me as Grimmjow Jagger Jack in the hit series Bleach, which is one of my favorite roles. Thank you. Let's see, Blue Exorcist. Any Blue Exorcist fans? That's a great show. I was Arthur Auguste Angel. Kill la Kill. You heard me as Senketsu, the talking sailor uniform. Such a no. You see him over there. Yes, I love that show too. It was so good. In Durarara, you could hear me as Seiji Yagami. Sounding like this, I played like I played a 15-year-old in love with a disembodied head. One Piece, you heard me as Duval. And if you don't know who Duval is the guy that looks like Sanji in the wanted posters until he gets beat up and he becomes like super handsome. And so I did Duval, and then you hear me as Gilgamesh, which I see a Gilgamesh back there. Beautiful cosplay, I love it. Mongrel. Hyperdimension Neptunia, you heard me as Anana Death, who's fabulous. Just a fabulous robot. Pardon me. And then let's see. I've got some new stuff out too. I'll tell you about. Oh, I'm Phinks in Hunter x Hunter. If you're watching Hunter x Hunter, I am the narrator in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is a fantastic show. And I do have a couple of new anime that are out. One is Cells at Work. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one yet, but it's hysterical. And I play Memory Cell. Done a lot of video game work. Video games, you could hear me as Richter Belmont in the Castlevania franchise, which I reprised my role in Super Smash Brothers. You can hear me as Jin Kisaragi and Hakumen in Blaze Blue. You can hear me as T-Hawk in Street Fighter. Let's see, a lot. Robin, of course, in Fire Emblem. Yeah, so Robin in Fire Emblem and Super Smash Brothers, which I've been absolutely just thrilled to be a part of. And then a whole bunch more. I've got a lot of really, really cool stuff coming out that, of course, I can't talk about, otherwise I'd have to kill you. Because we're under contract, and I can't, you can't talk about it. Can't tell you how many times I've had to sit on something that I thought was really cool, and I can't. I go to a convention, and they're like, "Hey, do you have anything coming out?" And I'm like, "Nope, not that I can tell you about." But at any rate, I'm here this weekend. This is actually my 4th SacAnime, and I love SacAnime so much. It's such a great show. I love the people here. Tomorrow, just so you know, I've got another panel, and it's one of my favorite panels that I do, and it's David Vincent's voice acting tryouts. And what I do is I've got scripts that I bring with me, And the scripts that I bring with me, we will read through, and I'll have you do it your way first. And it's a little competition. So I have you do it your way first, and then you do it my way. Then what we do is we get into the nonverbal voice acting. Because a huge part of voice acting, what most people don't realize is that it's nonverbal. You think you're just reading lines off the page, right? But a huge part of that is actually the nonverbal, all that other stuff, right? So I take you through nonverbal voice acting cues, and then the most important thing, and probably the most crucial thing in voice acting, that the gift that I can give you is that I'm going to kill you. Okay? Because you have to have a proper death yell. So I'm going to do that panel tomorrow. This panel is meant to be a Q&A. I'm going to see how far I can get talking the way that I'm talking with a Q&A. And then if my voice totally blows out, then I brought my scripts with me just in case, so we can have a little bit of fun regardless. Does that sound good? Okay, awesome. All right, you have a burning question over there. Go ahead. I love you for that, yes. If we could actually, because this is such a massive room, and I'm definitely going to be that guy, but if we could kind of squeeze in together, and honestly, we've got a microphone right there just so everybody can hear. If you have a question, you're welcome to come up to the microphone so that everybody else can hear. But it's super helpful to have everybody kind of closer together, and that way I can look you in the eye and give you my bedroom eyes. Does that make sense? Any other way, right?
Hello there, I'm Bodhi.
Bodhi, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Okay. What's your favorite role that you did with Cup of Tea, role that you got at Cup of Tea Productions, and what's your favorite part about doing the role of Robin from Fire Emblem series or Fire Emblem Awakening?
Cup of Tea Productions is a production company, for those of you who don't know, in Los Angeles. And it is, they've been around for over a decade now, and they are run by two of my favorite people in Los Angeles, the Bushy sisters. Danny is the owner, and her sister Lainey are the two who actually run the studio. So I love those two. I love working with them. They are probably the most delightful people you'll ever work with. There are two productions that I've done with them that stick out in my mind. First would be a video game franchise a video game called Tales of Graces. Yes, and I played Richard in Tales of Graces, and we recorded over 3,500 lines.
Oh, wow.
Which meant that I got paid. So that was great. And it was such a cool franchise. Any Tales franchise is just great. Robin, obviously, is one of my all-time favorite characters. And I got a funny story to tell you about Robin. And because I was flat out unfamiliar with the Fire Emblem franchise. Like, I had no clue about what Fire Emblem even was when I went into audition for it. And when I went into audition for it, it was like I was there for maybe 15 minutes. And I think I read like maybe 5 lines. And totally forgot about it. And then they call me back and they're like, hey, you booked this thing, can you come in? And I'm like, great. So I come in, and it was, I think that the session lasted maybe 30 minutes, and that was it.
Yes.
And then I've worked a lot as a voice actor, and so like you go in, some voiceover sessions are super, interesting and consequential, and some not so much, and some you kind of just go home and you forget about it and you have dinner. And so I went in and I recorded it, totally forgot about it. And it wasn't until about 6 months later I was at a convention, and every other person in my autograph line had Fire Emblem Awakening, wanting me to sign it. And I was like, oh, okay, we have something here. Now, here's the thing, is a lot of times I'll get cast in something, and I think it is going to be the next biggest thing ever. And nothing happens with it. It's done.
Yeah.
Never hear hiding her hair from it. It's done. It's gone.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem was the exact opposite. I went in, didn't even occur to me, and then, and it's blown up into this massive franchise now. And one of the cool things about Fire Emblem is that I had no idea that Awakening was the last shot that Fire Emblem was gonna have. Like, they were gonna cancel the franchise totally if it didn't do anything. Like, it was toast.
Yes.
But Awakening blew up so big to where and I mean, like, characters in Smash Brothers, you know, it blew up so big that now I'm thrilled to be a part of such an awesome franchise. I love the character. I've fallen in love with Robin, Grimmjow Robin, all of it. I think they're the best.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And time to tip a scale.
That's right, man. I love it. I'm gonna have you take over for me.
Thank you.
Hey, my name is Hayes.
What's up, Hayes?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what is a voice that you are most familiar with that you've probably trained for as a side hobby or anything that you began before you officially signed up as a professional voice actor?
Well, I used to terrorize my poor mother when I was a little kid doing stupid voices and noises and all sorts of stuff. Mom, can you pick one? No, I'm just kidding. I won't put you on the spot. But, you know, honestly, I started off as a kid and I just mimicked everything that I heard. And I mimicked like everything that I heard on the television set, whether it was a TV commercial or whether it was a character. I mimicked everything and I just couldn't help myself. It's just what I did. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, as far as like training myself for a character, it's just something that I've done naturally my whole life. And there is one, this is just an interesting, weird thing that happens. But like sometimes you have like a certain accent that just comes naturally. And I would be the go-to guy for any type of Southern accent with my agents. And like if you've heard me doing Southern accents on the radio, you just didn't know it was me. And so for some reason, like that accent just came really naturally to me. And that was one that I kind of worked on because I kept on booking and making money doing it. So yeah, I would say a Southern accent because there's different kinds of Southern accents. You have like, you know, a Texas accent. You've got, you know, a North Carolina proper. You know, you've got a Tennessee with hard R. You know, Alabama. There's all kinds of different, you know, Southern accents that you have. So yeah, I mean, that's probably the one voice I would say that I've done. But I just have done them all. And honestly, I've taught voice acting. And there's different methods of teaching. There are some teachers, acting teachers and coaches who are like, no, it has to come from your soul. And whatever it is, I'm not that guy. I'm like, just listen to it, mimic it. Because I've mimicked everything, and that's how you do it. And then you take one voice that you mimicked and you can do really well, combine that with something else, and now you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, with a Southern accent, you know? And so you can just combine all sorts of fun stuff.
I know I think the first time I tried imitating something was for like a solid hour was they had like a Dragon Ball Z marathon through the Saiyan saga, Frieza saga thing, and it was at like 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
I was like a 15-year-old kid who didn't know anything about sound.
Yeah.
So that was fun, yeah.
But that's great, man. That's how it starts.
Yeah, gotta get somewhere, and hot damn, my parents knew that. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, dude, you're awesome.
You're awesome, man. Thank you for being here, seriously. Oh, did you just dab? I love it. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Perfect.
Other than, like, I can't talk right now.
It still sounds great, so
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, man, it's my pleasure. I'm thrilled to be here.
I'm curious, what do you think of the recent trend of not providing an English voiceover for video games, like The Last Blaze Blue?
You know, that's a big conundrum, and it really upset a lot of people. I mean, there were a lot of, like, fans that reached out to me about that. And I don't think that they're doing it to be mean or to anger the fans at all or to anger the actors, because Lord knows I wasn't happy about it. What she's asking about is we have seen, not much of a trend, but it is a trend. For instance, there's a franchise that I've been a part of called Blaze Blue. And I've been a part of that franchise for over a decade now. And there was a release that they did where they did not release the English version of it. There's a million reasons why they did that. It can be budgetary. It can be like, there's so many different reasons why that probably have nothing to do with wanting to anger a very devoted fan base. Actors, we don't really count, but I mean, it's true. They're like, screw you. You're just an actor. Get back in your hole. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I don't think that they did it maliciously. I think that they did it for whatever reason. It can be budget. It can be, just whatever it is.
Okay, well, we look forward to hearing you in future roles.
No, thank you very much. And stay tuned. You have to check out Cells at Work. That one's a good one. Oh, and then also, I didn't tell you, I play, anybody watching Maggie? Seven Deadly Sins? Okay, so I play Esterosa in Seven Deadly Sins, which just recently came out.
Hi, David. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good. My name's Andy, and I really love Robin from Fire Emblem Awakening.
Thank
and then
you.
I also love Grimmjow Robin. I know you said that too, and I found that surprising because I like him because Robin is this huge dork, tactician, and Grimmjow Robin is the same thing, just an edgy version of him. I just find that hilarious.
Yeah. No, I think he's great. I love Grimmjow Robin, and I like the fact that Grimmjow Robin looks like the Grinch.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right?
Have you seen his artwork for Fire Emblem Heroes?
For Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the Grinch in that.
Yeah. That's where I got that from. He looks like the Grinch.
But so you played Awakening, right?
I haven't played it. I've watched gameplay. I don't have the device, and I haven't actually played it.
So my question was, I was just gonna ask who you married in Awakening.
Oh, gee, Lucina.
Okay.
No. Who did you marry?
Well, I wanted to go with Maribel, but Lucina has Aether, and I wanted to make Morgan broken, so I went with Lucina.
Oh, you went with Lucina, okay.
Yeah, but Maribel was the better waifu.
Maribel is a good waifu. What do you think? You're a Robin fan.
Oh, Awakening, well, if I guess it would have to be canyonalism, which is something you want something to be canyon. So I try to analyze who would Robin fit with through both personality and character. And that'd probably be Lissa, because they both have similar connections. I think their support one was cute. And also, if we get to mention, Robin and Crom would be brothers.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah, if you married Lucina, it'd be kind of awkward because then Crom's your dad or whatever.
It's just getting weird. It's just getting weird.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to ask.
Oh, that's great. No, well, Lucina, we both have good choices.
All right, thank you.
Hey, you got it, man. Thanks for being here. Good question.
Name's Dominic. Can I ask 2 questions?
Of course you can. Okay. Absolutely.
So you've been a couple vampire hunters in the past. Do you think you're worthy enough of holding the famous whip the vampire killer and killing some vampires yourself?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And there's an episode in Kill la Kill where Senketsu does a recap of what's happened in the past season. How many takes did it do to get that whole thing done?
Oh, man. That's such a good question. So what he's asking me about, he's asking me about who here saw Kill la Kill. So without giving away any spoilers, this doesn't give away any spoilers. There's an episode, it's episode 17 to be precise, and it's the recap episode. And you know how every anime series, they always have a recap episode where they recap what's happened in the series up until now. And this was brilliant. Kill la Kill is such a funny series, and they're so tongue-in-cheek, and I laughed the entire way recording that entire series. But what was so awesome about that is Senketsu he's the character that I play, he's the sentient talking sailor uniform, but he also is the narrator of the show. And so, in the recap episode, normally the whole episode is a recap episode, but he recaps the entire series in 30 seconds. And so he's talking a mile a minute, in episode, and he goes on. And you're asking how many takes did that take? 4 hours worth of recording to get that straight. 4 hours it took to get that straight. And honestly, there was a blooper that I did that I thought was hysterical, and they didn't keep it. And it's because he's talking a mile a minute, right? And they also speed it up a little bit to kind of help it. But he's talking like an auctioneer, right? Just boom. And so I get through it, and it was the last take where I was getting right to the end of it. And at the very end of it, I go, It was brilliant. It was so good. And everybody in the studio laughed. They thought it was hysterical. And the producer was like, oh, no, we can't use that. I was like, no! It was brilliant. I know.
Thank you.
You got it, man. Great question.
Hi, my name's Felicia.
Hey, Felicia, I dig your cosplay.
Thank you. So you said you laughed a lot while playing Senketsu.
Yes.
How much fun did you actually have making that entire series for Kill la Kill?
You know, it was just a blast. I remember when I first got the audition for it. And I'm looking at this, like, the artwork. They give you the artwork of what the character looks like. And I'm like, what the heck is that? I'm like, what is it? Is it a blanket? You know, is it a jacket? And so I went in and I actually auditioned for it, just based off of the sides. Like, I hadn't seen the series. I hadn't seen a show. And so I auditioned for it. And then about a week later, I get what's called a callback. And what a callback is where they say, hey, we want you to come back. You're one of the top choices, but we haven't narrowed down who we're going to pick yet. So we want you to come back and read again. But this time, before you come back, we want you to watch this episode. And so I remember watching this episode, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, what am I getting myself into? Am I sure I really want to audition for this? But I was like, that's really funny. And so I went in, and luckily I got it. And then after I got it, normally I don't necessarily watch the whole series. Normally I'll just go in because I want to work with my director, but Alex Von David was the voice director, and he's an amazing director, and he was very specific. He was like, I would like for you to watch the series. And so I went ahead and I watched the series, and watching the series, I was like, holy cow, that's crazy. And so it was really fun to actually watch the series and then know what was coming up with each episode. And it was just really fun. And what's so cool about Kill la Kill, and why I like that series so much, is it was an emotional roller coaster throughout the entire time, right? I mean, you have episode 4, which is like the race to the top, right? And it was just insanity. And then you have like these moments where, like, I can't remember the episode, but it was like within 30 seconds, you've got this hysterical, you're laughing hysterically at Mako and Ryuko in this fight. And then there's this touching moment where, like, literally you're tearing up 30 seconds later because of their character, chemistry and what's happening in that particular scene where she's just like laying down, being like, okay, come get me, And it was just like, it was just a powerful show. And I loved being a part of it. I'm very proud of it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here. It's awesome.
Oh, man, it's my pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Hi, my name is Russell Knotts.
Hey, Russell.
Well, first off, if I were to ask any questions, would it take any of your time, or is this...
You can ask. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. This might sound a lot, but I have 3 questions.
Yeah.
So the first one is, I never had any experience with Castlevania in the past, but after seeing Richter in Smash Bros, I love using him.
Yes.
His versatile gameplay, I know that he's definitely the better Belmont when it comes to Smash Bros. What was it like voicing Richter in just the studio for Smash Bros?
Oh, okay, so just so you know, a little bit of background, Castlevania has been around since I was a kid, right? So it's been in an epic franchise that I've been aware of since my childhood, my teenage years. And so I've known about Castlevania, I've been aware of it, and the fact that I got cast as Richter Belmont, I think I came in right around Dracula X Chronicles, I think. So I did Richter Belmont about a decade ago, right? I loved it, I was excited, I'm like, wow, Richter Belmont, iconic franchise, that's amazing. Well, I hadn't voiced him in probably 9 years. And I went into the studio, and much like what happened when Robin got put into Smash Brothers, same thing happened with Richter Belmont. I went to the studio, and they're very secretive about it. So they don't tell you what you're going for. They're just like, hey, can you be here at this time for a booking? I'm like, yep, I'll be there. And I go there, and I already had Robin in Smash Brothers. And I had already, I'm like, I'm already in Smash, But I see these guys from Nintendo there. And so I figure, I'm like, oh, we must be recording Robin. Cool. And Danny looks at me, and she this cup of tea. And she looks at me, and she goes, well, I'm guessing that you understand that this is Smash Brothers. And I was like, yep. She goes, I bet you think it's Robin. Yep. She goes, nope. And I was like, what? And then what they did is they took my voice and they played it on the system from a decade ago when I played him in X Chronicles, and I was saying the line, "Die, monster, you don't belong in this world." And I heard that, and I was like, no way. And they're like, yes way. Richter Belmont and Simon Belmont, the Belmont brothers, they're coming to Smash. We're bringing you back for Richter Belmont. And I'm like, well, does that mean Robin's still in? And they're like, yes. So you have 2 characters in Smash Brothers. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I was super excited about it. And going in and recording those lines, it was like 10 years hadn't passed. It was really cool.
That's honestly amazing. All right, my second question is, out of the number of voices that you've done, what is your favorite voice?
That's like picking your favorite kid. That's a tough one. Grimmjow from Bleach is one of my all-time favorite characters that I've done. Was probably one of my first career-defining moments that I had as a character, as a voice actor, was landing his role. Robin, pardon me. Robin is also another one. I'm just in love with the character. I'm in love with the franchise. I think it's a very special franchise, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. Gilgamesh from the Fate series, which I see him standing right there. But I honestly, I love that character because he's not the over-the-top evil guy, and for some reason, I get cast as evil guys quite a bit. But he's not this over-the-top character, but yet he has this just quiet, confident evil that I love about the character and that I love playing up into that character. So those are probably my top 3 that I can think of, but it's hard to really pick one. I also love being a part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think that's such a cool franchise. And it's a meme. And anytime you're a part of something that's a meme, you're doing good.
All right, my last question is, can I ask this next question?
Of course.
Thank you.
All right. This guy's sharp. I like him. Sharp.
Hi.
What's up, man?
My name is Panda, and I have a really weird... me and my friend do a role play where in this world, all anime characters from all video games, anime worlds come together, and we're doing one where, swear to God, everybody's going to laugh at this. Grimmjow is wearing Senketsu, and Gilgamesh just kicks in his front door, and he's like, I'm home, bitch. So my question is, if Grimmjow ever met Senketsu, how would they react?
I think you're right. I think that Grimmjow would make Senketsu's bitch. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you very much.
All right, you got it.
Hello, my name is Anne.
Hi, Anne.
I married a DLC character named Priam in Fire Emblem Awakening, and...
I know him, yeah.
Oh, you know Priam?
I think so.
Yeah, not a lot of people know him, so... when you read the script for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you just look at it and go yeah, this might as well just happen.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. I can't remember, do you know who voices Priam?
Jameson Price.
Jameson Price, that's right, okay.
Yeah, he also voices Virion in the game.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and I also married Seiri in Fire Emblem Awakening as well.
Very cool. How long have you been playing it?
The first time I just went through it okay, these supports are cute, I'll go for this. And then the second time it was definitely for stats, just so I could recruit Priam, because he's a super boss, basically. But it was worth it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question. Cool shirt.
Thank you. Since a lot of people are asking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so I'll probably ask for a different character from a different show in anime. So what's it like voicing Phinks from Hunter x Hunter?
That's such a cool show. Phinks, he's kind of a douche.
Yeah.
He is, right?
Yeah.
So he's he's an interesting character. Phinks is good. I think that he could do better in life. I'll say that. I love Hunter x Hunter. I actually directed a Hunter x Hunter movie.
Oh,
What was it just came out, I think, in the last couple of months.
Last Mission?
Yeah, The Last Mission. I directed that. That was actually my first feature that I directed. And I directed Billy Kometz in that. If
Yes.
you guys familiar with his work yet?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So, and he's also in the Rising the Shield Hero. And so he stars in that, and I directed the very first episode of that, which was actually a 2-episode arc, which was really cool. So I like Hunter x Hunter. I think Hunter x Hunter is an amazing franchise. You get to work with amazing people, and it's fun. I wish Phinks was in it more. I'll say that.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, any actor would always want to have their character be in it more. But it was fun. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your question.
Hello, King of Heroes.
King of Heroes.
I'm Xavier. I consider it an honor to meet you.
It is an honor to meet you.
So I have 2 questions
Yes.
revolving around my favorite character, my personal favorite character that you
Yes.
voiced, Gilgamesh.
Yes.
So, do you share some sort of fondness for Gilgamesh more than other roles, seeing as how he's like a more prominent role?
I share a fondness for Gilgamesh, number one, because of the story. When I first, here's the thing, with the Fates series, I was originally introduced in the Fates series, the original Fates Stay Night, and I was cast as Assassin. And so in the original Fates Stay Night that came out, I think it was like 2007, 2008, I was Assassin. And then when Fate Zero came out, I really wasn't that familiar with it until I went into the studio, and Tony Oliver was the director, or is the director for the franchise, right?
Yeah.
And I had worked with Tony, I had known Tony. Tony, I have a special relationship, a special bond with him, because he's an actor's actor, right? He's done theater, he's done like Broadway, he's musical theater, like he geeks out about that type of stuff like I do. And so going in and seeing Tony's enthusiasm for this show, for the franchise, for the characters, was so contagious and rubbed off on me that I got really into it and I got really excited about it. And so when he introduced me to Gilgamesh, and because I had auditioned, here's a funny story. So I actually was sounding like this when I got the audition for Gilgamesh. And I had to put them off and put them off and put them off. I'm like, I can't, I'm sick. I'm not sick right now, this is laryngitis. But I was like, I can't make it in. And so finally they're like, look, last day, you're either in or out. And so I went to the studio and I auditioned and I sounded horrible. And for whatever reason, they cast me as Gilgamesh. But at any rate, when I went in and working with Tony through that series, and Ufotable was the company that animated the series, it's probably the most beautiful animation I've ever seen. Yeah. And so seeing that beautiful animation and the storyline and the characters and how strong these characters are, I was just thrilled, man. I loved it.
All right. I have a second question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
How much fun do you have with his type of archetype, the like megalomaniac type characters?
I think that I fit right in with them. I don't know why. I think maybe I am part megalomaniac. No, I love it because you get to take that character into realms that nobody else normal would go to, you know?
Yeah.
Like, how dare you look upon me, you mongrel, you know? That type of stuff is just genius. Yeah. And so getting to like take a character to that level and have fun with it that way, to me, is just, it's a blast. And that's what makes being an actor fun. Yeah. You know? And that's, it really is being able to explore those types of characters and pretend.
All right. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question. Great questions, man. The King of Heroes is in the house.
So I got two questions, one that relates to the other. What is harder, doing video games or animes for voice acting? And what's the hardest character for each you've done?
I think there's more skill technical skill with anime. And the reason why is because with anime, it's already animated. It's animated in Japan, and it's brought to America, and you're in the booth, pardon me, and you have a large screen in the studio with you in the sound booth, and you have to match the lip flap of what's going on, of what that character's saying, and the action of what's happening, because it's already been animated. And you have to make it believable. And so that, it's more technical, that type of acting, versus video game voice acting. Video game voice acting is, or it can be intimate. The challenge with video game voice acting is you have zero context of what you're saying and why you're saying it. There's a hard rule as a voice actor. You never open your mouth without a reason for opening it, And so, because whenever you speak or you grunt, you speak with purpose. And so, for video game voice acting, it's difficult because there's no context whatsoever, because the script is literally in an Excel spreadsheet. And so you rely entirely on your director to tell you why you're saying what you're saying and to give you that context. And so that's why video game directors, they're fantastic to be able to pull those performances out of the actors when there's not a lot of context given on the script.
Okay. And who was the hardest character you've done, do you think?
I think the hardest character that I've done, I would say, like, acting-wise, like, as far as, like, the really getting into the character would be Senketsu from Kill la Kill. I think we went and recorded 4 episodes, went back and re-recorded the first 2 episodes just so that I could sink into that character's voice. That was challenging because they were like, okay, do it this way, no, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. And like, we never really kind of found that voice until after we were like 3-4 episodes in. And then we had to go back and re-record the first 2 episodes just because we really kind of found that voice. And that was probably the most challenging. Vocally strenuous would be any of like the Call of Duties, Halo, those ones that are called throat rippers. And then Hakumen from Blaze Blue. And what we do is, because for those of you who aren't familiar with Blaze Blue, is I play 2 characters. Well, he's kind of 2 characters, kind of not, kind of the same character. But it's Jin Kisaragi, who's a psychopath over his brother. And then Hakumen, and Hakumen is down here like this. And so we record those characters separately because they sound so different. And whenever we record Hakumen, it's 4 hours of being down here like this. And so literally, when I'm driving home from the studio after recording Hakumen, it feels like I've gargled, a bunch of razor blades. And so I would say, yeah, there's 2 different types of difficulty, and one is in the character, and that would be Senketsu from Kill la Kill, and then Hakumen as far as just vocal strain.
Okay, thank you.
You got it, man, and I dig that cosplay. Looks good.
Hi.
What is up, dude?
I have a very important question for you.
I have a very important answer for you.
Do you prefer cats or dogs?
Oh, both. Here's the thing, is I'll be honest, I'm really more of a dog person. I love dogs. I've always had dogs. We had dogs growing up. I've had German Shepherds the last decade of my life, 15 years of my life, actually. And but when I was living in New York City as an actor, and I was dating this girl, Allie was her name, and she had this cat. It was a Persian cat, a gray Persian cat. So they're the cats with the little flat face. And she would give it a lion cut. And so it had this little skinny body with a poof on its tail and this mane. And I adored that cat because the cat was pretty much like a dog. It loved to be petted. It would sit in my lap. It would, purr. So I think they're both amazing. I love them both. Now, not to give you like a total like sellout answer like that, but that's the truth. I actually enjoy them both.
Thanks.
You got it.
Hi, I just had a quick question. What's your favorite Fate arc? Unlimited Blade Works, or 06, or Heaven's Feel?
Unlimited Blade Works. I like Unlimited Blade Works. I think it's such an amazing story. And especially, and I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I mean, at the very, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
I got you. All right, thank you.
Especially because he comes in, and one of my favorite lines that he says and I think he's with Archer, and he just says, "Faker." He said it in such a way that I was just like, "Oh man, I said it. I'm the one who like voiced it." And I was like, "That was really good."
All right, thank you.
You got it.
This thing on?
Yep.
Yes, David, Vincent. I remember that you used to voice General Logi from Blue Dragon as well as
Oh my gosh. Yes.
and Grimmjow Jaggerjack from Bleach.
That's correct.
We're all aware that Bleach ended a couple of years ago and he comes back for anime. Are you going to reprise your role as Grimmjow?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a funny story. When Grimmjow first came out, I played him in a video game about 2 years before he came out in the anime. I bugged the heck out of the studio saying, I want to play him when he comes out in the anime for 2 years. So you better believe it. If they're making an anime, I'm going to be bugging the heck out of that studio about wanting to reprise my role because he's one of my favorite characters I've ever done.
So that's a definite okay for you? You're going to reprise your role?
Well, if they let me, yes. I mean, you're never guaranteed. Here's the thing. Sometimes it's a different studio. Sometimes it's whatever. There's a million reasons, and they recast all the time. It happens all the time. So, but believe me, if the anime comes back out again, I will be gunning for it.
I mean, no one else has a tenacious voice such as you, because every other character I've heard you voice over the years, even in Blue Exorcist as well, you always have this tenacity in your voice, even when you're being casual.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. And believe me, if they bring him back and I get cast, I will bring that tenacity right back to Grimmjow because I love that character. Thank you very much.
So, if there was ever would you ever like to appear in, would you ever like there to be a Fire Emblem anime TV series where it focuses on all the Fire Emblem series, like from Awakening, Fates, Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn, Shadows of Linnea, etc., and you would reprise your role as Robin and another character that's in Heroes for another game, and also you're amazing as Robin.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And honestly, if they came out with an anime, I would be all over it like a cheap suit. I think it would be awesome. I would love to do a Fire Emblem anime series. And honestly, I think that they would be crazy not to. With how popular that franchise has become, it's perfectly logical that they would make an anime out of it. Yeah. I have, and I stink. It's so funny. I was at a convention in Michigan, I think, and this group, they're like, "Oh my God, David, will you come and play Smash Brothers and play as Robin?" And I'm like, "Yes, I will come and play as Robin." And for about the first 2 minutes, they were like, "Wow," geeking out because they're playing Smash Brothers with Robin. And finally, they just got tired of me, and they're like, "All right, you're dead." And they just immediately crushed me. So, but yeah, I have played. And it's such a fun game. I get why it's such a huge franchise because it's a lot of fun to play. So I think that is my time. Yes, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for coming to SacAnime. And please come tomorrow to the David Vincent voice acting tryout because I promise you'll have a lot of fun. It's my favorite panel that I do. And you'll have a lot of laughs, even if you don't want to voice act. It's worth coming because it's a lot of fun. It's to die for. All right. Thank you, guys, and thank you for coming to SacAnime.